stream this Friday evening. I'm Dennis Cole, your hostess, and I am going to do some live editing in SmartEdit and show you all the nice tools it has. Now, if you don't have SmartEdit, I will show you where to get it too. It's a free software. I like free. I really do. I'm on a fixed income. I want tools that don't cost me money. So I will show you this. Now I'm also using Plotter, which is a paid software. So I use them together, and it doesn't matter which writer software you are using. Plotter works with it. And so does Snowflake Method. So I will give you all three of these links before I get started, and it will give y'all a chance to come over and join me. So first off, I'm looking at my handy dandy list of writer resources, and first I will put Snowflake Method up there because I love it. I love it, I do. And I will put a link to SmartEdit, to Plotter. Well, all right. Let me change my list a bit, just a sec. Okay, now I have it. Okay. There's Plotter, and the last link I want to give you is SmartEdit. Where is it? Where is it? look it up because apparently I didn't copy it, which is dumb, but I didn't. So let me do this. Yeah, go to the download page. And I should do something. I've got dead air. I don't want to have dead air. Oh no. I'm leaving dead air. I've got a black screen with nothing on it. Okay, here is that. So, oh, I've got plotter on there. Let me change my capture to SmartEdit. All right, and here is the first chapter of the novel I'm working on. And what I'm going to do is go over to Actions and Tools, and I can see my word count on the current scene, on the folder, if I had more than one, if I had a folder selected. All right, so if I go up to the folder, then I've got it, and I can see that, and these are notes. So I'm going to go to the scene properties and make sure this is excluded from the word counts. And I'll go up on that one and also make sure that it is excluded, and it is, so it's not going to count on the word count. So now I can go up here, and this I need to make sure it is also excluded. All right, there we go. Now I can select this, and I will only get the current scene, which is 3343. If I go to the scene and do a current scene word count, it's 3343. So that is proof that these three notes are not showing there. So let's look for and search for character names is an interesting thing. If I needed a character name from Earth, then I could use that. And I can do all sorts of nice things like make a backup. I've been working on this all day, so it's already got my backup folder selected, so I can just hit OK, and it will do a backup for me. So there is no save button, which is kind of disquieting for me, but well, making a backup works. I have done that, closed it, come back in, and it's all there. So I know it works. So, and it's still making a backup. It's a large folder. I spent some time today adding the second book in. So yeah, it's a big folder, and I've got a lot of notes in here that I need to take out. Because it has this neat feature called research. When it gets through making a backup, I'll show you. And you can put links to all these things that I've been just copying wholesale off the internet. I don't have to do that now. I can just put these nice links and get to those articles. So I'm just and I haven't got any up here, but if I needed them, I could get them. So I'm just, barely scratching the surface with this software, but I love it. So, all right, I'm in scene 1. I can go over to Actions and Tools, actually, and I could change the way this looks if I wanted to, but I love this with the boats. I love it. So let's see here. And that's how you get to the fonts and the word processor tab. And here you've got your daily word count. Let's see how I did. And it shows all my word counts. Now that disaster figure there is from all the notes that I used to have included in that. Now I'm up to about 47,000 words in this document. I've cut out a lot of material. It was 90,000, so yeah, I'm having to rewrite a good bit of this, but it's going to be so much better, I think, when I get through. So yesterday I wrote 7,171 words, so yeah, getting there. I haven't written that much today. I've been doing other things, but I have been adding things to some of the other scenes. So yeah, it's all right. I will get a lot more done later tonight. So, but what I want to do is find all those nice tools. Now, where are they? All right, and I can choose to check the scene. I can check the folder. I can check the whole document. I can look at dialogue and prose, prose only, dialogue only. And I can run all checks. So let's run all of it on this one scene. I'm not going to do the whole document. So there we go. Now, so here's all the times that I've used the word new in the scene. I've used it 15 times. So I probably need to pick some other words besides new. Let's see. Okay. All right, let me go down here and change this one. Premiere, maybe? Well, that has to be there. Let's see. All right, let's make that a modified. All right. All right. Okay. Okay, I could just do more. Why not? Innovative. Yeah. Okay. I can just delete it. It'll mean the same thing. All right. As a starting. As a colony start. I use that phrase a good bit. Okay. And I think I will just take the word new out. Now that's a little better. And I see, well, not very possible to, okay. Okay. How can I describe that? Well, I could take many out of there probably. All right. Instead of many, I could put flexible. All right. Let's see, what can I do? Did I take that out? Will it mean the same thing? Probably. Okay, let's see. I'm going to leave that one in. Again, I probably don't need the word many, so I can just, okay. And, all right. I don't know how to make that bigger. Let's see. This one, I can just make it years. So I'll probably think of more ways to cope with this. But I'm just doing the easy ones right now. Let's see. Let's try the majority. Okay. Now, chamber, well, the irradiation chamber, the mixing chamber. I can't really, I mean, that's what the thing is called. So, I'm going to leave that boundaries or names before. Let's see what I can do with that. 11 is not that high a number. How about last night? I'll leave that one. I could do this. Okay. Well, this one I could make as we entered. Yeah. That one could be in front of. Okay. Progs. They call programs progs. So, I don't know. Let's see. I think I'm going to leave that alone. Much I could probably do something with. Let's see. I'll leave that one. Okay. I'll just take that out. I think that'll do. Okay. You can make that one a lot. We will talk. How about that? Okay. Now, cylinders, I don't know how I can. They're not really test tubes, they are bigger and they are flat on the bottom. So, I think I'm going to leave that alone. Could, I can probably do something with. Let's see. What can I do? I'll put tested. Yeah. Instead of could, let's see. I have might already. Could do using. Alright. Could just say we volunteered. And if you have any other suggestions for things that I could have done in this, feel free to put them in the comments. Or if you disagree with something that I do, then feel free to comment. Let's see. I wished to go. Okay. And I already changed that. So instead of, let's see. Alright. And the others in 2,000 words. I don't know if that's excessive or not. Let's see. Let's try when. Let's see if I can do something with that. All right. I can just chop that up a little bit. Come on. There we go. Oh, okay. I'm going to leave that one. I could turn that into a question. Okay. That I could just take the when out, but then I have another I. I'm going to leave that one. I could put in his work there. Maybe I could change that around. Okay, that is part of the name of the thing, and I can't think of anything. Let's see. Enable us to. All right. I could just say thank you. That's polite. Let's see. Come on. It takes it a minute because I've got so much stuffed in this file. Assistance. All right. Wait a minute. All right, where is it? There it is. I'm going to leave that as it is. Let's see. Can I do anything about that? I mean, use is kind of, maybe I could rewrite this. It's awkward. I don't know. I'll have to think about this one. I'll look at it again. Let's see. I used it twice in that sentence. I need to fix that. I could just take out the second one. I could just do that since I have that in the next sentence. Okay. I don't know how to improve that either. Let's see if we have any comments. I don't see any. Let's see who's with me. Oh, Agalette, hello. Another TV viewer, welcome again. Caxips06, welcome again. Lanare, hello. Roxy, good to have you with me. So I hope I'm not boring y'all with going through my document. I'm just using the tools in SmartEdit to edit my story. So I took out a couple of them. When did I already look at this? I can't remember. I skipped around a bit. Let's look at this. I did fix it, yeah. I remember that phrase, I did. Let me see if I'm right. Yeah, I took out the win. So now it's only 9. Okay, so let's go to something else because I'm not going to look at the things under 10. Now up here, I can go to the next one. Repeated phrases. Let's see what we've got. Asi and Sitsa. These two are my two antagonists, and they are a pair. They are a matched set. And so it's only 5 places in this. I'm not going to worry about it. All these are under 10. I think it's all right. So, yeah, let's look at the next thing. Because you don't want to take all of them out, you just want to reduce them. Adverbs. Oh, I did pretty well. I'm gonna leave that alone. That's all right. User defined monitored words. Okay, there is okay. Let's see here. Well, I could just take there out into alt storage. Mine was purple. All theirs were black. She stands out, doesn't she? Okay. I'll leave that alone. Well, I could use those. Okay. Maybe I should take that out and it would read just as well, even if cold pincers did not touch my skin. Yeah. Okay. How about to the left? Or glance left. Take it all out. I mean, if you can take any words out and it still makes sense, then that's good, right? Okay. And actually, I could take there out too and just say under lab coats. I think that would work. Okay. That definitely I can take there out. If it counts, it counts. Yeah, I like it there. Fun. Oh, I didn't mean to. Okay. I'm going to leave that. Most of their ideas take years to see results. I'm going to leave that. They use pockets for terminals. I don't need the word there. There. Okay. I'm going to leave that. Okay. I would love to see a table like that. Ooh, wouldn't you? Made by a Munster. Okay, anyway, let's go on. Redundancies. None? Okay. Punctuation results. Curly apostrophes, curly quotes. I don't know how to fix this. When I get it back into LibreOffice, then I will do that because I'm going to have to figure out. I don't know how to fix curly quotes. Well, maybe I'm supposed to be comparing the curlies to the non-curlies. Oh, that's different. Okay. Alright, that one should be curly and it's not. Is there anything in this software that can do that? Let's find out. There's nothing there. This is built on OpenOffice / LibreOffice, and the difference is OpenOffice is what LibreOffice started as, but they did a branch off of the code and made LibreOffice. Now LibreOffice gets update and OpenOffice does not. So if you're using OpenOffice, I suggest you go download LibreOffice. Your program will work the same, your documents will open just the same as they do in OpenOffice, but you have the advantage that LibreOffice is updated and they make it better with each update. I'm very pleased with the work they do on it. So, you know, the reason that I'm using SmartEdit is because of all these wonderful tools to help you. Oh, thank you. Oh, boba tea! Love it, love it.
Enjoy. I wanted a snack.
Yum.
We've had just one meal today? Two?
Mm-hmm.
No, we haven't. We just had one.
No, we had Cool Wraps twice. So,
Sure?
yeah, I'm going to wait to eat.
Okay.
So, where was I? Curly quotes
I'm gonna snack on
and straight quotes. And so, SmartEdit is based on OpenOffice / LibreOffice. But it is not full featured. It does not have all the features. It only has the features that a writer needs. So the nice thing is you've got this wonderful directory structure over here. You can pull things into it. It's very easy to import a document. For example, if I want to go down here, now I have a witness. Say I want to make another, well, off of this, I'm going to add another folder, and I'm going to call this sequels, or well, I'm going to call it series. Okay, boom. Now I'm going to pull a Witness into it. a Witness is the second book in this series. And now I'm going to add another folder to it. I can either do that here, or I can go up to the Actions and, well, Project. And here's Add Scene, Add Note, Add Folder. The difference in these, of course, a folder is a folder. A scene is like a chapter, except this just has scenes. But if you add a scene, it's just a blank document. It can be a chapter or a scene. So it's just another document. And then you can do what you need to with it. In the word processor section, you've got all your fonts. I love Georgia. I used to work at Georgia Tech in the library, so they created Georgia font there. So Georgia is my connection to my past. So I really like it, and I love the way it looks. So I use Georgia. It's similar to Times New Roman, Century School Book, and all those serif fonts. Serifs are the little things that are connected to your, you know, if it's little additions to the, little tails on things, and like on this D, there's this little bitty spike to the left. So it's those little additional things that you don't have in a non-serif font like Arial. I hate Arial. I hate it. So, you know, the non-serif fonts are supposedly easier to read because they're just plainer, but I don't like the plainness. I'm not Arionian. I would make a terrible Arionian. So I like serif fonts. But if you like non-serif fonts, there's nothing wrong with you. It's just easier for you to read. So, you know, we all have our tastes in fonts. But this has all the fonts. If I can get the list to come up. Can I see the list? Yeah. It has all the fonts that are in my windows. No, thank you.
Not right now?
No.
Okay.
Thank you for offering.
Hi, Corey.
So there's my Georgia.
Queen, go see Mama.
And another font I use a whole lot is Dulosil. Now, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. If you work with IPA at all, this is the font for you. I got it off of the International Phonetic Alphabet site, and it's very easy to install a font into your Windows Fonts folder if you're Windows, and there's a similar folder for you Mac users. Dulosil will make sure that all of those special characters, if you're writing in a foreign language, show. So I don't get into IPA much except when I'm creating languages. So that's why I have Dulosil on my machine. But for most purposes, I use Georgia, and in my manuscripts, I use Georgia. Because I don't use IPA in my manuscripts, I don't want to put my reader through that. But if I'm creating a language, I do want to know exactly what those sounds are. And IPA has a symbol for every sound in every language that is in use in the world. So now you know something about IPA. Alright, so enough about fonts. I'm showing you the parts of this. So under project, you've got start, and that shows where you can open the project manager, which is this. It's better to leave the project manager closed because your document automatically, if you have it set up like that, automatically backs up your document. If you have this open, it blocks it from saving your backups. So, and it still has an incredibly high word count, but that's all the junk I have that is not documents. So you won't have that. Look at Huckleberry Finn, how small it is. So it's just because I put my entire helper folder from Scrivener in there, and I didn't realize that I had that much in it. Yeah. So you can back up your project, you can configure automatic backups, and I'm only keeping one backup per day. I do not want to have 20 gazillion backups. And create a backup every time I close. And there's my directory that I specified. It defaults to your C drive. So I've got general, I've got word processor, and I've told it to use smart quotes and curly quotes, and replace a double dash with an EM dash, replace 3 periods with an ellipse. And it does this very well, but if I import a document and it doesn't have those things, it doesn't change them, unfortunately. So, alright, backups. We already saw scene defaults. so I can set it up for my Georgia font, which is the reason I switched from Scrivener, because even though Scrivener has lots of modifications that you can do, it wasn't doing them. So I really got mad. It wants to do Calibri font. Calibri is a non-serif font. I, as I've already said, am not fond of non-serif fonts. So that's why I'm using SmartEdit for my stuff. So you can set your defaults for new scenes, you can set defaults for your notes, and I'm using DuloSil in case I want to put SMyPA in it. Then exporting. I can insert page breaks when exporting as a single document. This is rather important. After each scene, I do want a page break. I might change my mind, but for right now, that's what I'm going to want to do, and then I'm going to have to do some editing on that single document in LibreOffice to put my front matter, my back matter, and all that good stuff that matters. Pardon my pun. And then updates. And I can check for updates now and see if there's anything. There's probably not. I'm using the latest version. And it's so nice of the author of this software to make it available for free. If you want to use it in the cloud, however, that's when you pay for it. So I never use stuff in the cloud. I always put it on my hard drive, and I'm always using my computer. But if you're using a mobile device and you're on the go, you might want that mobile option. So it's nice that he has it available for y'all. So anyway, and here's what these are from the second book. I was importing my document and splitting it up into scenes. I had my stuff marked to be imported into Scrivener as separate scenes, and Scrivener just refused to import it. And by the way, I'm using Scrivener 3, so it should work. It has worked in the past, but it's not working right now for me. I don't know if I broke it. I hope I didn't. But I created a new project that should have worked. I don't get it. I don't know what's wrong with it. I think Scrivener is mad at me for switching to SmartEdit. I think it is. Anyway. Alright, so you've got documents and you've got a thing called fragments. And I do have a fragment in here. Let me, oh, by the way, it does create all these tabs. When you go into a document, it creates a new tab. So if you're looking at a lot of stuff, and that's the document that I just imported a couple of hours ago. Excuse me. Love it. So I will get rid of all these because I was splitting them into separate scenes, so I have a tab for each one of those scenes I created. I'll go back to that. Alright, so back to the document, and I can go back up. I was going to show you how I can import a document. So let me do that. So if I go over to, where's my import? I'm still learning my way around. Import document. This works beautifully. Now here's my work in progress folder, and here's my ADF folder with all of the stuff I've written in this series so far. So I could go down here and get my short story that is built on this. And if I do that, boom, there it is. All right, and it's all here. So if I want to split this up, all I have to do is create a folder for it. This is basically this book written from another character's point of view. So all I gotta do is, boom, add a scene. And this will be introduction, and go up here and get that and put it there. Boom. And now I have a little tab for it and for the other one. So I can go through here, da, 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 da. Get the first scene. All right. Boink. And scene one. Boom, there it is. Okay, and so on and so forth. I'm not going to bore you with that, but that's how easy it is to import documents into this thing. And I'm on this one. I've got two cases of straight apostrophes, and I've got a space before a dash. Or rather, I don't have the space before the dash. I need it. So I'm going to add it. All right. And straight apostrophes. I don't know what to do about that since I don't see anything that would help me with that. So it just warns me that there is one. Now what if I delete it and put a new one? Is it now curly? It looks curly. I can't really see that, but maybe that fixed it. Let's try that. All right. So, oh, that looks different than that. It sure does. Let's fix it. Now let's see if they look the same. They do. Ooh. I know how to fix this now. Oh, that's nice. Okay. EM dashes. So I'm not having the space here. Oh, that doesn't need a space. Yeah, all those places it's supposed to. That needed the space and I put it. Okay, hyphens. Okay. And these are, Germans like to stick words together, so I am not sure if Germans from the 1840s would end up 200 years later still sticking words together, but I'm assuming they would. And I'm thinking that there would not be hyphens. So I'm going to take them out. It's odd, but then this is not Germany or America. It is a future world of my creation. So I'm going to take out the hyphens. All right. But that has to stay in. So there we go. Now semicolons, well, I've only got 2, and I think that's okay. And space before a dash, I fixed that. Straight apostrophes, I fixed that. Let's go on. All right. And before I go on, let me check over in Twitch Studio and see if anybody has... Okay. I don't see any comments, so we'll go on. Now, this is interesting to me that we've got possible misused words. So, well, I don't see any errors there. I don't see any there. Not there. Not there. Anytime today, I clicked on you. Thank you. I really don't have trouble with these. And I'm using blonde on purpose. I read a whole article on this that was talking about BLO BLOND and BLOLNDE. And basically the E is a holdover from the whole dumb blonde stuff and all that. It's stereotypes. So I took all the E's out, and I'm doing that as I go. I don't want to see BLONDE in my work at all. I didn't realize that was a stereotype, and I refused to participate in it. So all of my people, boys and girls, will be BLOND. So that's the exception. That I am going to definitely change. But lie versus lay, I have had trouble with that in the past. I don't now. So it's good that we check for misused words. And definitely I'm going to be wanting to change and drop that E from now on. And cliches, let's see if there are any, and nope. Good. No cliches. Alright. Sentence start words. Oh my. Oh, 52 times. What do I do? It's first person. It's first person. Oh. Well, okay. I don't know what to do about this. I really need to read something and find other ways to deal with this, but what do you do? Okay, So let's tackle the next one. All right. I could take it out of there and just say warmth felt good. Okay. Well, instead of the, I could put my large irradiation chamber. Oh, I've got 4 of them in one sentence. Ah! What do I do? What do I do? Well, all right. Come on, go down to it. Hello? I could just take the these out. I did add that for emphasis, but our equipment. All right. Yeah, I took 3 out. Okay. To a solution. All right, I could do that. Let's see. I could take the out and it would still mean the same thing. The freedom to enjoy full range of emotion. Oh, yeah. Yeah. All right. And the Barrens, that is part of the name of the place. So, I could take the out and it would still mean the same. Okay. And I could take the second the out. Calculated amounts still means the same. Okay. So I could actually just do away with that first the and just put intense listing of each expected reaction. Get out of my way. Obsidian, go away. Ah, all right. All these programs open at once. Are you gonna? I did a backspace. Are you gonna do anything? This is not just happening with SmartEdit, lest you think it is an error in SmartEdit. It is not. I have it in Scrivener. I have it in LibreOffice. I have it in every program I've run, including Obsidian. I don't know what is causing this. I have a brand new computer. It's fast. As of October, new, brand new. It should not be happening this way. I don't know what it is. I need to ask Mr. Google. In the meantime, all right, so I've got that. Okay. Three these in one sentence. That's not gonna do. I'm gonna take out that one. And I'm gonna put the visual displays that appeared in front of my eyes whenever I spoke commands gave the only evidence of the server. I felt I spoke to the melted sand countertops or to myself as if I were insane. I had to look that one up. As if I was or as if I were. Writer's Digest has a wonderful article on that as to when you choose whichever one. And if you're talking about something that has not happened, you use were. So, all right. Anyway, have I got two of these in that? I'm gonna change one to my server. All right. 3 to 1. That's pretty good. All right. Here's two in the same sentence. All right. I could just do the same trick on this one. Same ingredients with one difference to measure the reaction. Okay. And on this one, I could use my last run. Okay. All right. So he. I have a lot of trouble with this. That's 13 of them in 2,000 words. Not as bad as the eyes that I have used. So, yeah, I'm not so sure I need to change a whole bunch of these, but let's see. All right, who's startling? Okay. Well, I don't want to start that sentence with Vaughn for sure, because I've just got his name right up there. So I'm going to leave that one. Let's look at this one. Okay. I'm going to leave that one. All right. I'm going to leave that one. All right, how can I rewrite that? Okay. I could just do this. All right. How about that? All right. Instead of he turned to, I could just say walked. Yeah. All right. Okay. I'm going to leave that one. So I don't need to fix every single one of these. In this case, I'm going to say Aussie. But then I've got Aussie twice. Okay. All right, let's see. can get rid of that one. Yeah. Okay. All right, and that's that one. Okay, let's see. I can just put his name in. Okay. So I could replace that with my father. Yeah. I could just put his name in. Or do I, with the sentence starting with oh, but let's see here. Not just cows in Clydoy. Not hardly. Farmers are smart. If you knew how much scientific research came out of USDA, you would not think that farmers are stupid. They are not. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to leave that one. All right, so I improved it a little bit. Let's see how much I did. Well, if I go to that and then come back, it should tell me. I don't think it's going to calculate it again unless I go up here and let's see. All right, I could run the checks for oh, I ran them all. Okay, so now it's a little better. All right, so yeah, it's better. It's better. Okay, and repeated phrases. I'm going to just leave that. 5 times is not excessive in a scene. Okay, adverbs. Let's go down to sentence start words, and I'm down to 13. That's all right. Unlucky 13, maybe, but yeah. Sentence length, I've got one that is long, but look at what she's doing. I could shorten that. In fact, I could just break this up into sentences. And that shorter sentences give actions. So I could just do this. That sounded like a knock. That was a knock. Okay. And let's see. So where was I? Where's my cursor? Now I lost my cursor because I looked up. When you're older, it's harder to do stuff. Let me see. Okay, there it is. All right. Yeah. Okay. That's much better. Now let's see. There are two that are 24. Let's see. I think that's fine. I think I'll leave that the way it is. You don't want to cut all of your sentence length. There are two that are 23. Let's see. Now leave that one. All right. That's all right. Yeah, I think I'm fine on those, so I'm going to leave them as they are. All right. Dialogue tags. None. That can be a fault, actually. Ooh, thank you. Ooh, you're so sweet.
Happy Easter.
Oh. Ah. Easter already. Ah. I am happy. Oh, I hope I don't get in trouble for showing a brand name. Oh, no.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Mama. Uh-oh.
My live stream is not sponsored by this company. It's not. They had nothing to do with this live stream. So I am, that should fix it. Okay. So, let's look at, and dialogue tags are like he said, she said. I hate he said and she said, which is probably not a good thing because you need some of those. But I would rather use actions than have, waste your time as the reader with that. So, yeah, that's a
Peppermint bunny.
Cool.
Now, do you want the top half or the bottom half?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Let's split
Thank
it in
you.
half and
Yeah, just put it in one of these.
give you the bunny head.
Thank you. I can't resist this.
It
Nice.
says it's supposed to be 1/5 of a package, but resisting this peppermint patty.
Well, if you bring me a Ziploc bag, I can put it in it, and then I can make it last that long. That'll work. If I ate all of that, the peppermint would give me a tummy ache. I'm one of those. But a little bite every once in a while, heaven. Yeah. Yum. Okay, proper nouns. Well, and I use my 13 times. My. Thank you. All right. I will do that later. All right. Let me see. So, well, all right. 13 times is probably not excessive. I need to look up and see. the rest of them are all proper names. I'll come back to that one. And I'm not bad about using acronyms, am I? Okay. Risque word or phrase, I don't use them. I write for young people. I don't use them. Okay, foreign words and phrases. And I haven't, well, it should have gotten right at the beginning when he says Danke, or rather when Adia says Danke to him. That should register as a foreign word right here. So maybe some of the things are not being detected, but it's all right. It's all right. So I have run my check on the first scene. Now let's look. If I want, I can declare that a draft if I'm absolutely through editing it, and only drafts will go into my export when I'm ready to put it into LibreOffice. I'm not yet. I'm still working on this, so I'm still working on everything. I haven't really finished any of it, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. So if I wanted to create a draft, I could go ahead and do it, and I could specify this and just declare the whole thing a draft, and then I'm ready to export the whole thing. So that's what drafts are for. And as far as help, I can go to the knowledge base, and it goes directly to the, of course you're not seeing this. Let me change my capture so you can see it too. And there it is. So you can go up there and look up things right in the software. I love that. Very handy. So let's go back. If I can hit the right thing there. Back to SmartEdit. And we're back. Okay. So, and I can do different shortcut keys if I want. And it brings up the web page when you do that. So that's why you didn't see anything happen. But, and the forums and the website. So all of these are links. Just like over here, where you have in research, you can put links to whatever helps you online. So I have all these links just from K.M. Weiland's website because it's so much help to me. My goodness, I'm really taking off because she can explain plot structure so I can understand it. It's nice after all these years of not wanting to even go there because I just felt like my brain just can't wrap around plot structure. She explains it so I can understand it, and my writing is a lot better because I'm doing that. I like it. So, and attaching notes is as easy as going up and adding a note. So I can say, wait for it, there it goes. So I can make a new note and I can say live stream. And I can say today is for March 2022 and I am devoting my live stream today to SmartEdit. And then it is there. These notes are available no matter what scene you're on. So if I want to see my location tags, which I put in my research folders, it's not even on a document in my book, here it is. So if I want to say, okay, what part of the galaxy is this, then I can look at that. So cool, huh? And I can, I've got the key points of the maiden arc from K.M. Weiland's website. So Adia's character arc is a maiden arc, so I am trying to stick to this and figure all the stuff out from that viewpoint, because if you have your character spelled out, it will affect your plot and it'll make it better. So definitely I've got a maiden arc for her. I have a flat arc for her love interest, Riona E. So, because he's already good. He doesn't need to learn the truth. He already knows his truth, kind of like Captain America in the Marvel movies. So, he doesn't need to progress. He is her steady, source for her strength and for her not being so unsure of herself. He builds her up, and that's what she needs. So definitely I've got that, and I've got the beats. So what's supposed to happen in the first act, what's supposed to happen in the second act, and the moment of truth, and the second pinch point, and then the third plot point, which some people call the second plot point. She counts the midpoint as the second one, and the third plot point as what other people call it, the second. It doesn't matter. It's just, it's there. Then you have the climax, and you have the climactic moment. And what's really neat is K.M. Weiland has studied all sorts of literature and come up with a formula that is a framework, not a rigid thing at all, of where your points should come in your document. And so I'm working off a 20 chapter system. And if we take a look at my plotter, I'll show you how I work that out. So let's go over to Plotter. Let me go to Twitch Studio and switch to Plotter. Now Plotter is a paid software. I did put the link for it in the chat. I love it because it shows me what my story map is. So here is Plotter, and I've got my snowflake method, and I've got what I worked out in that. These need to be updated, but because as you change things about your plot, you will want to go back and change these as well. But I've got, then the other steps, and I'm using Typing Chimp to do my interactions between characters because it has a relationship calculator with enneagrams, and I love that. So now I've got my stuff that I copied from the snowflake method link that I put in the chat. And so we've got, a little of that. Then I made a new one. You can make your own little guides that you can have if you work off of the same source document, because there's no way to transfer these from one plotter document to another. But I just have one called Story Creation, and I work this up in it. So I start with story creation anytime I make a new file. So here is my ADIA project, and I've got 3 books laid out. I don't know if I'm going to stick with these other 2. I may have another, because definitely with some of the plot changes I've made in ADIA Scientist, this one's probably going to go away. And they're probably not going to have a long courtship after all, which will be explained. But yeah, so, but I can lay out the whole series if I want to in this document. It's wonderful. So I've just got some basic notes in here, and there, and I have not got the whole document in here. I am actually doing the writing in SmartEdit, but I've got it laid out now, and yesterday I filled in my second act, and I've been writing on it. So yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. So now, and it's first person, so yeah, some of these are not first person, but I've got all of my things. So basically, Katie Weiland came up with, okay, the first 5% of your book should be introductions, and I'm doing 20 chapters. That makes 4,000 words a chapter. So I did the math and added the figures on here. So exposition, the first 10% of the book, this was in the 3-act template. So this is not from Katie Weiland's site, but it's helpful. So they're saying 10% or 8,000 words. 8,000 words is the first 2 chapters. So with 20 chapters, each one is 4,000. If I want to end up with 80,000, which is kind of standard science fiction, and even young adult science fiction might go to 90,000 or 100,000. Even up to 120,000 if you've got a lot in there that you need for your story. So you've got some leeway in science fiction, where in most other fiction, a romance novel, for example, can be 100,000 words. So, and still be a viable length as far as a publisher is concerned. So, and I'm getting these figures from the Writer's Digest website. I figured they've got the best expertise as far as the publishing business. So I got my figures from them. But basically, pretty much any genre, 80,000 words is a good length for your novel. And you want to pace it. So whether you're writing 20 chapters or 24 or 30, it really doesn't matter. Readers are going to read whatever length your chapters are. But I tend to like the 20 chapter structure, so I'm doing that, and maybe I even might need to increase that so that the chapters aren't so long. But what do you think? What do you think as a writer? What length should your chapters be? What length should your scenes be? I am thinking that I'm going to, for the most part, have 2 scenes. So if you're thinking about the scene sequel structure, your scenes should have an action, and then the sequel is the reaction. So the scene in this case is your action. So your action scene should be shorter than your reaction scene. The action scene is basically, oh my, there's a tiger, and you don't even have time to say the word before the tiger is springing towards you, and you take action. You run, or you get in your Jeep and crank it up, and you're racing away. So in the action scene, you see something, the tiger running at you. You jump into the van and crank it and gun the accelerator. There's no room for any dialogue here. You are getting out of there. And then you might say, whew, that was close. And then in the next scene, that's your reaction scene. You're going to be reacting to what just happened. This is where you have time to think about it, and you're going, oh my goodness, we nearly died. And all this emotion comes out. So, you've got your 3 parts to each of those. And I haven't memorized them. So I'm going to stop here. But, so basically, my first scene is not an action scene. It is more an introduction scene. Although I have, in the first part of it, I have Adia coming in. She's excited about the presentation that they just came from, but she is going to her workstation and beginning her most important experiment so far, to find this new fuel before the war comes closer. So it's okay not to have the first scene as an action scene per se, but it's shorter than 4,000 words because I want to get right into the action. So I have a little room to introduce the characters, introduce what Adia is like, what she's thinking, and then I get into the explosion, which is the inciting event, which really should come at the 12% point of the book. It's a little early, but you can have the inciting event earlier. So I'm hoping this is going to work. I may have to rework this and add some more to my first chapter or add another scene or something. I'll have to figure that out. But I did have 2 chapters of expository before this explosion, and I figured that's just slowing it down. It doesn't really contribute to the plot, so I cut them. You have to be ruthless when you're editing sometimes, and if it doesn't contribute to your plot, if it's not moving your plot forward, you need to just be brave and cut it. You can put it in a file and keep it. You might use it someday. So, the stuff that I had between her and her father and her sister, I might use that in a future book, but it's not pertinent to this plot. So then I've got my key event coming right after my inciting event, after my action, and I've got the reaction here, and introductions to everybody in the department. So that's kind of the continuation of the reaction. And then he investigates, and I haven't got this matching my document. I've added a little bit, but so basically everything on this top line is an action except for this one. That's the only exception. Every one of these, that's action, and then there's reaction to it, and then the cause of the explosion comes out, and then they know that, this is cutthroat here. So That's a reaction scene. That's an action. That's a reaction. That's an action. These two are not even in there anymore. I cut them. I have one scene now, so I have to change this to match up. So that's an action, that's a reaction, that's an action, that's a reaction, that's the big confrontation at the midpoint, and that's a reaction. So, in other words, with two scenes, it's very easy for me to keep up with what my actions and what my reactions are. This is an exception. And I've got my timeline. So I've got what's going on. So, I have some turnover of days, but basically the 13th day is when things really start cooking. And then the climax comes on that same day. And then the kicker at the end comes on that day. And it's winter. We really don't spend any time outside, so I don't spend a lot of time on that, but it's good to know what the date is. And I've had this book on Amazon for a couple of years, and I never knew what the date was. So, big flaw. I fixed it. Now I know what date it is. Now I know how many days are passing, because I really didn't figure that out the first time. I flubbed. I put my book up before it was ready, but I didn't know then what I know now. So, yeah, I used to be a dyed-in-the-wool pantser. I did not want to plot. It's like, no, I can't do this. I can't do this. My brain doesn't work that way. Well, I was wrong. And it doesn't mean that I'm going to be a total planner either. But the structure really is freeing. You would think that it would be confining. I've got to have this action come in. I've got to have plot point 1 at exactly 25% of my book, which you do. You need to have it there. But on the other hand, there's a lot you can do with this structure that is flexible. And it doesn't have to be exactly on the nose 25% to the last decimal point either. It's a guide. It's only a guide. And you can fiddle around with it. It's, but having the structure and knowing that, okay, the first 10% is going to be the first 8,000 words. So that's going to be the end of chapter 2. Then, the inciting event, right around the 12% mark, maybe not exactly there. What's important, as K.M. Weiland says, isn't so much nailing down to a specific place in the story as it is presenting that event at the optimal moment. So, sometimes you want to throw it at the reader right away, and sometimes you want to hold off until that 12% mark, but you want it, where it needs to be in the story. So the key event is going to mostly happen right after it. And so then you've got your plot point 1, and that's almost on the dot at the 25% mark. And it's not to the page, but it's, your reader, whether they're aware of it or not, is going to be expecting things to happen at certain points of the book. So in the first 25%, they're going to expect the first major thing is going to happen. The inciting event will happen, but the you know, the action is really going to start with that plot point 1, and then you're going to get to the first pinch point, and it may be at 37% or 40%, but it's going to happen in there somewhere. Then your midpoint is going to come at the halfway mark, at the 40,000 word mark, or the, however many chapters you've got, half of those chapters. That's boing where your midpoint goes. And then you're going to have another pinch point, maybe at the 60%, maybe at the 62% point, and then your third plot point is going to come at the 75% mark. So your reader is going to expect that something is going to happen at the 25%, at the 50%, at the 75%, even if they're not totally really aware. But it's just going to feel right if you have things happening at those places. So it makes sense to me. And of course, I write science fiction and I do like logic. It's logical, it's reasonable, and I can write this way. So the climax is going to come at the 88% point. And that's, you might have a pre-climax that comes right before then. You might have the pre-climax happening at 88%, and then the climax happening at 95%. But the climactic moment is when the end of the story comes, when, okay, boom, we had our climax, and now life is forever changed. So your climactic moment is when your character is really supposed to shine. And then the rest of it is just conclusion, wrapping up the details and working up to your great ending, which is supposed to be something that, if you're writing a series, it can't really be boom, the end, but it's going to be, this part of it is ended, this book is ended, but you've got your suspense about what's coming in the next book. So you're gonna have the, you have to tie off all the prominent loose ends, and you're hopefully going to be tied to that inciting event. So the inciting event and the climax are bookends on the story. So just like the plot point 1 and the third plot point are also bookended. So they've got to be related. So you want to think about that. And if you want to know more about this, go to K.M. Weiland's website, Writers Becoming Authors. I think it's what it's called. I need to put that link in there, so let me get that for you. She has helped me so much with this stuff. I didn't understand anything before I started reading her articles on that website. And I really need to get some of her books and read them. Definitely. But for now, I will give you the link to the website and you can read for yourself. So, if you don't read anything else, I would encourage you to look at, okay, where's my link? Yeah, 3-act structure. And if you go to this page, there are links to the others. So And I don't see any comments. I hope y'all are still with me. Oh, I put it in twice. I didn't want to put it in twice. What? I must have hit the button twice. My hands don't work. Part of the thing of being 63 years old. Let's have a look. Well, Agalette, another TV viewer, Caxip6, Lene Ray, and Roxy, hello and welcome to the live stream. So I'm hoping y'all are getting something out of this. And you can do this too if you've got Plotter, or maybe there is another software that you use for keeping track, or even if you've just got a notepad and you just make little squares on it. It's good enough. You know, you can use Post-its for your scenes and just move them around as you need to. If you need to have a scene come in a different part and then you've got to add more scenes in between like I did. But if you basically use Snowflake method, you could get Randy Ingermanson's book and get his Snowflake method software for free. And it does this too. So, you know, whatever you choose to do about your plotting, if you can just have, you know, Snowflake method is dead simple. You have your setup, you have your first disaster, you have your second disaster, you have your third disaster, and you have your ending. And all of this corresponds to the 3-act structure. So the first disaster is going to come at the 25% point, the second one at the midpoint, the third one at the 75%, and the ending at the last when you have your climax. So if you use the Snowflake method, it's dead easy. If you use the 3-act method, it's a little more complex, but I used not only K.M. Weiland's stuff from her website to come up with this, but I also used the 7-point method, which is included in Plotter. And I just put everything that wasn't included in the other stuff in there. So the pinch point 1, you know, 7-point, it comes at 40%. So, you know, different methods, it's okay. And pinch 2 at 60, and Karen Weiland says 62%. So, you know, it's fine, and it's all good. So I've got it all in there. So, yeah, and I love this because I've got it all laid out in 20 chapters. And if you want a different number of chapters, it's very easy to add them. I just went through and put chapter 1 through 20 in here, and then I just matched it up. And of course, if you've got a 25 chapter plot structure, then your percentages are going to be different. But it's very easy to put that in a spreadsheet. You know, the word spreadsheet strikes fear into most everybody's hearts. I am not a spreadsheet guru. I had to learn that stuff for work. When I was database coordinator at University of Utah Library, I had to learn a lot about spreadsheets. And this was in the early days of Windows, where you add up a column of figures in most of the spreadsheet softwares, and it couldn't add a column of figures correctly. If you got on the calculator and put all that in and added it up, you get a different figure. It's like, what is wrong with this? Now it works, but back then it did not. So, you know, I went to the head accounting guy in the library, and he was using DOS. So, but that's how far back I go with spreadsheets, but I never learned very much about them at all. I'm not good with formulas. I don't know my way around them too much, but I can put a column of figures in a column, and if you put 1, 2, 3 in the first 3 cells and then take that little plus sign and pull it down, you get 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, etc. So that much I can do with a spreadsheet. So maybe I should have an episode of my live stream where I create some stuff on a spreadsheet, just simple stuff like that. You don't have to know a bunch to be able to do that. So maybe I'll do that next time. I am looking at the time and it's 10:12. Do y'all have any questions for me about anything that I have told you about or that I've done tonight? Y'all are still with me, so apparently you found it interesting enough to stick it out. Thank you very much. If you have any comments or questions, please feel free to put them. Otherwise, I will wish you a happy weekend, and I will be back Monday, and I'll figure out something else to do. Maybe we'll do spreadsheets, because that's a good skill for a writer, because if you're doing your scene titles, you can put them in a spreadsheet. Snowflake method suggests that, as a matter of fact. And you're just putting a title for each scene. You're not writing bunches of stuff in your spreadsheet. And then you've got a list to go by. So if you don't have Plotter and you just want a quick and dirty way to just keep track of your scenes, it's very easy to drag and drop those in your spreadsheet. So I might demonstrate that. I hope I can do it. As I said, I'm not a spreadsheet guru, but maybe seeing me stumbling around will give you inspiration and help you with your plotting. In the meantime, I will leave you now. I'm not seeing any comments, so it's fine if y'all want to just hang out and not comment. I'm not gonna think poorly of you for not putting comments. I'm glad you're with me. So we'll have more fun with the writing life Monday. Y'all have a great weekend, and thank you for coming to Granny's. I will see you next time. Good night. Say good night, Maggie.
Good night, guys.
That's my daughter. Good night now.